A lot of people have gone to town purchasing all sorts of drugs from many pharmaceutical stores because of the outbreak of coronavirus. But do you know that using a drug in amounts or by methods which are harmful to any individual or others means substance abuse?
Are these people normal? These illegal drug hawkers who patronize counterfeit drug sellers.
The dangers of that is part of what creatives are exploring in this drama. And in this exhibition at the gallery in the nation's capital. We have that as well as your works of art, plus spoken word, still talking about COVID-19. A warm welcome to the program, the first in the month of April. I'm Melinda Akinlami.
Our spoken word this week comes from Dozie Ekenobi, located in Yaba, Lagos. He calls this poem Elegy on the Coronavirus. COVID, O COVID, thou fear of every nation, thou at whose mercy the world is. We on our knees tender our pleas, never did foresee such a situation of mourning, groaning, pain and lamentation, which day by day with ease increases. Viral monster and deadly disease, pity our land and every nation. Thy arms outstretched from the east to the west, thy bitter news piercing our ears, of death, of kith and kin without reserve. Through the numb state transcending do we rest. We implore thee, the lifelong year, young and old for us preserve. Blown from origin on a journey thou embarked, from Asia to America, Europe and Africa, leaving none out, including Australia, where it's a plague like that of Egypt. Yet on pale faces we all are masked, for fear of thee and agoraphobia, to prevent the spread with coronaphobia. O thou good shepherd, kindly protect. Protect and guard us, this virus lethal. Scientists prescribe preventive measures, proper hygiene and social distancing, quarantine if infected and intensive medical care, isolation if suspected, a fortnight assures, to give one more, one less a meaning. In lingua latina, corona a crown. With peak death record in one day, set the world to panic in many a way. Borders shut down, total lockdown, movement restricted, economic meltdown is imminent. Master, do not delay. Rescue our ship lest we stray. The monster is crushing uptown and downtown. If our shepherds were watchful enough of this dreadful crowd-coined corona, nay, they sit back and watch and laugh, ignorant of the commoner with a load on the head who now prefers to be a loner.
I can't slow down, except if age disagrees with me. Even the masters, when they were old, they were aided either with raised brush or assisted palette to paint. Man has been the brain behind change innovation. It is within his capability and capacity to harness variables of his natural environment, symbols, motifs, space, and time.
The Walking Stick is a play staged in Lagos which looks at how a broken home can affect the upbringing of a child. The thespians used a lot of song, dance and dialogue to convey this message, but we'd like to warn our viewers to watch out for flash photography.
The Riveting Playhouse present The Walking Stick, staged at Terra Culture in Lagos. The play, which is a satirical comedy written and directed by Felix Okolo, talks about the dangers of drug abuse and its consequences.
Are these people normal? These illegal drug hawkers who patronize counterfeit drug sellers, nauseating workers who depend solely on drugs to function. Look at them.
It zooms into the first school for any child, which is the family, as the author wraps the story around the Chiromas using dance, comedy and dialogue, with the light conveying the mood when necessary.
Time for school is time for breakfast. What of food is come with classes. You know, the company is cash your candy. The Lord pack for them is drop and drop. You know, close down the road. Me, working obesity. A lot that thing will be composed. Candy on the talent living. Time for fishing is time for breakfast.
Professor Chiroma's quest to acquire more knowledge keeps him miles away from his family. His wife cannot cope and decides to give her twin children to other family members to raise for them, while she tries to fend for herself.
I am your mother. All the money I said I surrender, plus Natifu, plus whiskey, all disappear. I am your mother. Please, can I have my money? I said the money for where I get the property. The car is home for them, the son of medicine. Because of that, we see it's not my property. I said, promise me. But if you promise me wrong, you say I will be that. I got your party for night, but then my devil is back. I think you kill me, I go. I think you kill me, I go. I think you kill me, I go. I think you kill me. Look at me. You see, Fatima come from a very rich family. My father, Baba Taju, NTC, he's the owner of that building. No, not that one, the other one. You see, but now they have said everything. That is why Fatima joined Market Union. Every week by week, we save money, but ask anyone, Fatima is number one.
But when the children grow up, the reality of what they have become is a bitter pill to swallow. Without guidance from father or mother, the street becomes home for them. Latif becomes a local government chairman who is known to promote thuggery, and Titi, who's a trained pharmacist, cannot seem to keep off the red light district as well as drug addiction.
Latifu, you collect all our market money and use it for election campaign. Yes. You bribe all our leaders to become chairman of this local government. Now they say you are honorable and you want a private dinner. We know that manager have arranged everything. But you see, all the food you eat in your private, they are buying all the ingredients in our house. So forget all this Christmas and food. We know you tell manager to arrange someone special. You see, the cook, the messenger, even the special girl, they are all children members of our club. We are the senior members. That is why we wear this special and old uniform. Now, this is misuse. She too want to get used to you.
An intelligent father is full of regrets, but it's too late to turn back the hands of time when an unlikely experience reunites this family.
I don't want their one boy. But you remind me of my Kike Lomo. My sweet Kike, always crying. So, what is the name of your twin? Kike is the girl. She's a girl. And you are correct. Her father is that lecturer who is inside there doing workshop with another village student. So, which guy are you? Where is your mother? You don't know your mother. I hope it's not the same Daniel, no? You say your name too is Daniel. Your father's name is Daniel. Who said Daniel?
Grandma, long time ago. Are you sure you are?
They said he grew up with my granny. Mama, let's see.
Mama, listen. That's my mother.
Hey! You know Mama, listen. I don't know. Behind me.
She talked to you with that drug addict.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
When the play was first written in 1993-94, that was when it was first written and produced. We had a drug problem in Nigeria then. Guess what? The drug problem has not gone, rather it has multiplied. We have a huge problem now with drug addiction amongst Nigerian youth. So that's the reason why we come up with this this particular play, because it's a very strong message. It has a very strong message against drug addiction and drug abuse, and it relates it to the family unit. Once the family unit is broken down, the father figure is missing, the children are left open to all kinds of pressures. Some of those pressures can lead to drug addiction.
All these and more are communicated in a subtle way, but these thespians expect the message to be the game changer.
And they are not the only ones mentioning the dangers of drug abuse. The female visual artists highlight that as well. But first, let's look at the images you sent in this week. Then I'll tell you more about that in a moment.
COVID-19, that's what has inspired artists to create these works of art sent in this week. Artists are really sharing their thoughts about the coronavirus pandemic, and this one is titled COVID-19. It's done with burnt wood and thorns. This artist says that the virus is a threat to human lives, and over the years different viruses had appeared, but doctors and scientists always found a way to fix things, and he hopes that they will be able to do so, and soon too. Then a divine solution is what Dele Obaro is prescribing with his charcoal and pencil work of art. He says we need to pray, especially now. Julius Adeyemi is asking everyone to stay safe with this oil on canvas piece. Then this mixed media work by Lekon is called History Written in Blood. He says the seventh pandemic, the biology of chaos for thousands of years, and we try to make words and other notions an enduring semblance of the ways of our changing world. We're still not satisfied. We want more and better science, but we cannot always tell at once whether we need more facts or we lack the proper notion. Then Johnson is also looking to God for a divine solution. He believes that when you can't put your prayer into words, God hears your heart. In these trying times, all we need to do now is pray for the nation and the whole world. And he calls this silent prayer. It's done with oil and acrylic on canvas. Then Ogulesi Paul is looking at this pandemic through a different perspective. He says it's really as stubborn as a goat. It moves in haste like a human, haggard like an old tree, steals sources and the world economy like a thief. He's always in motion and he moves through people, so it's best to stay at home and stay safe. He's done this with newsprint and acrylic on cartridge, and he calls this Portrait of the Penkoha. Then finally, Emmanuel calls this cleansing. He says, I sometimes wish all we were going through or all we have been through could be washed away with water. Wouldn't that be great? And those are the works of art you sent in this week. Thank you so much for sending them in. And we do encourage you to stay safe and continue doing something creative.